Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Christian, and I'm a mix engineer. Today, we're diving into Over Again by JPaulished. Let's dive in. So this will be a fun one to mix because this is a way different genre than what I normally post about. I'm usually doing like Connor stuff or hip hop stuff or just like, even poppier stuff. But this is pop, but like it's a lot more acoustic, a lot more stripped back. And even some of the other stuff from this guy is awesome and even more stripped back than this. So this is just good vibes. We'll talk about acoustics and stuff in this, which is like not talked about a whole lot anymore. But let's just start from the top here. So we got kick, clap, hat. And if you can believe it, I don't have any of the transient shapers on it. Look, it's all decapitator stuff and EQ. Isn't that crazy? Just some extra boom boom. Chilling out this frequency here. Pretty much the fundamental, just so it wasn't like overwhelming. Same thing for the clap. Just get some grit, some light EQ, always high pass, please, especially on your hi-hats. This one's a little bit more gritty too. And a trick that I like to do with the hi-hat is I like to like crunch up a hi-hat pretty good. I feel like oftentimes, actually almost every time, a hi-hat just doesn't have the body or the snap that it needs, especially like in context of the mix. And so I just try to drive it pretty hard, honestly. And then my drum bus is just tape. There wasn't any limiter, which is a surprise, surprise, rare moment, but it happens. And here's all the drums together. And then here's the bass. Okay, so this was a real bass, and so here's what I like to open up with a real bass. Call me old school, but I miss that Sans amp. Like that real pedal, that real sound where like you'd plug the Sans amp into the amp and then like it would have like a preamp drivey sound. I still do that. And this plugin has to be like 47 years old, but it still works in the same context. Then EQ. Get rid of some of the like weird low mid stuff going on. And then I just compress it on the end. With enough attack to like get some of the, the finger pick, but then it just kind of slams the rest of it, keeps it consistent. All right, let's dive into these acoustics. And so I don't know if you watched my Instagram story or my Instagram video, whatever. Acoustics are so weird. Like it's just a pain in the butt almost all the time. Like let me play this for you soloed with all the processing. Like they sound fine, whatever, but they don't sound like perfect, like this pristine acoustic. But then when you play it in context of the whole mix, it suits the song, like it's blending with the piano well and all this stuff. And so you just always have to keep in mind when you're mixing acoustics, like just get it to a place that it sounds good. And then stop, go like finish the mix and then go back to the acoustic, like almost make it the last thing. Because if you try to mix an acoustic like right off the bat, make it sound perfect, unless it's recorded well, it's not going to be perfect ever. So don't pull your hair out. But B, you're just going to go back and mix it anyway. So like, here's what I did. I'm sure I can't remember. This was a few months ago, but I'm sure this is what happened. So I started off with this. So like, simple EQ, a little bit of compressing here. And then I added this tape machine just to give it like some cool analog touch. Obviously I drove it pretty hard. And that also might have been a volume thing too, if I remember correctly. And then at the end of it was just probably adding this because I was like, oh, there's a weird honk going on in the overall mix, right? Same thing for this. It's just like a simple EQ. Oh, here's some weird kind of frequency stuff going on here. It's the squeaks, And then at the end of it, I was like, here, this is annoying. It's the same honk. I think it's probably the exact, yeah. But you just like go down the line and you can kind of see the thought process as I'm going here. I'm like, I probably started with these two and then went back to the mix and then added like these honky, yeah, there you go. You can literally see how I was probably freaking out thinking, what is this frequency that's bothering me so much? And so these acoustics sound, they sound great. and they're like kind of treated in a way that feels very like roomy and natural, and that's awesome. But you just have to be careful because like you could really get frustrated trying to mix an acoustic to where it's like exactly what you want it to sound like. This more than anything else in the mix realm, you have to just wait until your mix is done. That's just my opinion. That's my advice. Take it or leave it. So there's some cool like acoustic riff stuff going on here. And then this electric part. Doesn't need anything. I just added some tape stuff. So all the guitars sound pretty cool like together. Anyways, let's move on to the perk and key stuff. So there's tambos, claps, same thing, like high pass it, boost the transients on some of these. Let's see what I was doing with the claps on the Devil Lock here. Yeah, so I was just trying to get some grit. And then again, you know, high pass it, especially with this thing. I don't know if you guys use this plugin at all, but like it just adds so much low end. It's just like extra to all the sounds. Yeah. Same thing for the toms, like this, you know, there's all these like really cool perk stuff. But I use this Devil Lock thing to just like help it stand out, like get it crunchy, get it, you know, away from it just feeling like a normal drum, especially like because it's so wide. Let the tom live on the left, like it's already obviously, you know, panned to the left. That's how the producer had it, but let it pop out. Like that's what gives, you know, a mix that stereo vibe. Okay, piano. There's a lot of tracks in this song. Is this old school? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But I love a good compressed piano. It's like very Coldplay. I don't know. I don't know, guys. It excites me. Same thing over here, just like some... Nothing here. No need. Even all this other string stuff, like... Sounds great. So good. So good. Cool. So that's all the music. Now let's dive into the vocals here. Let me be a broken record. It's my same thought process. It's just a matter of how you do it, how much you want to hit the, you know, the EQ and the compressor, the first EQ, first compressor. Sorry, I have people doing my floors next door. So if you hear like, they're doing construction in my house. I shouldn't have recorded these videos on this day, but whatever. But you can see it's like, it's always the same thought process. That's just how I like to mix, but every mic is different. Every voice is different. So like you can't just like template the same treatment. You can template the same plugins, sure, but you can't template the same treatment. So I'm usually like cutting some mids and high passing on my first EQ. And then I'm always, you know, same thought process, doing like light compression, but how hard the threshold's hitting it's going to be different every time. Now, this is interesting. I added this slate thing because sometimes I just want a different vibe from the mic right off the bat. And so I added, I can't remember what this model is, but it's this like slate. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, like, Slate has this mic I'm currently using now. It's the ML1 with like the preamp, and then it would give you the like mic presets that you could like switch through. It's like a mic, whatever that word is. But it gives you like the option to have 10 different mics because it's the slate thing. Anyways, sometimes I use that just to like give a different character to a mic that's already been given to me. The technology is clearly not slate. Like this person does not have the slate mic, or they could maybe, but I just like to add it on because it adds like a different character to it. And so here's what I did here.
Falling for the wrong one over again. I knew it all along, I was holding it in. I'm going on another long insanity binge. I guess I just go with the wind.
It's like a warmth thing. It's like a tape sounding thing to it. It's pretty cool. I don't do that all the time, but sometimes I like to do that. And then same thing, my second EQ, second compressor, saturation if I want it, like just a little hit.
Falling for the wrong one over again.
Now you can see this is slamming a lot more.
I knew it all along.
And that's what the point of this compressor is. You just like get it pretty hard if you want it to. This one, always stay light. This one is really like to taste, to your style. What do you want? Mess with the ratio, mess with the speed. Like just get it to, like I slammed this one probably harder than an acoustic song should be, but it felt right for this. And then I saturate just to give it some extra like punch if it ever needs it, you know. Same thing, de-esser, and then fresh air.
Falling for the wrong one over again. I knew it all along, I was holding it in. I'm going on.
And then I have, let me see if I even use these. Yeah, I did a little bit. So some parallels right here.
Falling for the wrong one over again. I knew it all along, I was holding it in. I'm going.
Some delay, light delay. I do enjoy this repeater thing. It's got a cool like spread feature here that I really like. The slate, I'm a slate princess, aren't I? The plates here, the chrome plate, really cool vibe. And then this reverb, I know I've talked about this before, but like this bedroom preset is really fun to mess around with. It's also pretty loud, if you can see right here. So here's that.
Falling for the wrong one over again. I knew it all along, I was holding it in. I'm going.
Now you can see there's a lot of automation with the vocal verbs and stuff like that. I do like to mess with that with the verse going into the chorus, just because I don't want things to be so washy all the time.
Be the one. And so it begins. I'm falling for the wrong one over again. I knew it all along, I was holding.
It just helps like lift, you know, especially when other doubles and background vocals come into play, like kick the verb up or whatever it is. Oh, here's Soothe on the bus here, just to clean up some of that 4K range there. Okay, some pretty cool background parts here that are pretty key too. This mix is like got all my like typical advice technique things that I like to talk about. Cut the sibilants, cut the breaths, get it super tight, use vocal align, like get the doubles, the highs, the lows, all locked into your lead vocal. Like I can't stress it enough. That's what makes a vocal sound so polished. So you can hear it right here. So these are gonna sound, you know, a little wonky because of like the S's and the breaths. It's just gonna sound like jarring, you know. But check it out on its own.
I'm going on another long insanity binge.
And then, but in context, it sounds awesome. Same thing with the doubles, like.
And so it begins. I'm falling for the wrong one over again. I knew it all along, I was holding it in. I'm going on another long insanity binge. I guess I just go with the wind.
Sweet, like it's tight, you know. It still feels like a lot of people because like there's different pitches and things like that. But man, like the timing of everything, the S's, like all that vocal editing is gonna be so tedious, but so worth it. Okay, so here's the finale here. My instrumental bus, my acapella bus, it's the same thing. It's light limiting work. Like for this one, I didn't even limit, you know, it's really more for the glue of this one. I threw this on just for like some latency, even though this is low latency. I think there's a mental thing there or an OCD, I don't know. But it's just really more for gain. I'm not even limiting it here. And then my little Gold Clip Pro L2 combo. Here I did mess with the input, but it's really more for like the clipping, the max clip. This is really the number I'm looking for right here is 3. I shouldn't have double clicked that so you can see it, but I try to clip 2 to 3 dB. I feel like any less doesn't really tame as much as you need, and any more is like, you know, kind of, you can hear very subtly the distortion kind of come in. I've gone more, you can do more obviously, but like if you get to 4 or 5 on a clipping, like it just, like you can, especially the low end, you can hear the grit start to happen. But here's a thing I added. This is definitely a part of like mastering that I enjoy. Is like some mid-side EQ. Clearly I didn't do a whole lot here. This being up is probably an accident, +1, but, or 0.1. It's really more for like the side work. I love to high pass the sides, give some low mids to the side. Like I like to treat the sides a little different. Be careful because it's so easy to mess up and make things sound phasey and weird. But you know, if you do it right, you can get like this really cool kind of effect going on, especially if you're listening to headphones. Like things just feel wide when you use a mid-side EQ correctly. But here's everything in context.
And so it begins. I'm falling for the wrong one over again. I knew it all along, I was holding it in. I'm going on another long insanity binge. I guess I just go with the wind.
And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.